And it's a shame that it's happening to Floyd Mayweather. It's a shame that it's been happening for years to not only athletes but celebrities or people who are making tons of money because they're not managing their circle. They're not managing their life, you know? And it's your circle that's all important. You must hire people. If you're gonna hire people that are gonna look out for your money and you're gonna trust those people, well, you better check the checker. You know, the checker checks the checker.
At the end of it, I think he's gotten some bad advice. I think he's been led into some things that, you know, he didn't necessarily agree to.
Floyd does not have all of his properties. Now, if he means homes that he owns, then okay, sure. But he's also had to sell a lot of those homes to pay back loans that he made against said houses and other assets, or liens that were against him with the IRS. This dude cannot stop lying. He also said, I don't owe anybody anything, or my bills are all paid.
Oscar de la Hoya mocks Floyd Mayweather's reported $7.3 million IRS debt, saying it is unfortunate given the huge fortune Mayweather built during his career. De la Hoya believes weak money management and the wrong people around Floyd could have played a part in his financial problems, even after earning hundreds of millions of dollars.
Absolutely. Look, and it's funny you bring that up because I was thinking about a new segment that I want to come out with, giving advice to fighters or giving advice to athletes who come across a lot of money. And then what do you do with it? Then you have to hire people, you have to hire lawyers, you have to hire agents. So now you have all these people around you, right? And sometimes, and most likely, you hire people that eventually.
He also argues that Floyd should have paid closer attention to his inner circle and those handling his finances. When someone has that much wealth, trusting the wrong person can create serious risks. De la Hoya says Mayweather needed dependable and honest professionals around him to safeguard his fortune and handle his financial matters properly.
If I'm going to hire somebody who's going to look out for my finances, I've had my finance guy for 25 years, the same guy. And there's a reason for that, because somebody else is checking him and somebody else is checking that other guy. So you have to be smart.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is reportedly facing a $7.3 million federal tax lien from the IRS in Las Vegas for unpaid taxes linked to the 2018 and 2023 tax years. The huge liability comes during a period involving other legal disputes, though Mayweather's attorneys have rejected claims that he is suffering major financial problems. Bob Arum has also expressed sadness over Mayweather's circumstances. Arum recognizes Floyd as a great boxer and calls him a genius who made an extraordinary fortune during his career. For Arum, watching someone with such financial achievements deal with tax trouble is especially disappointing.
You know, Floyd had a great career. He made a lot of money. But in his mind, that made him a great genius, great business genius, great genius in life. And because he overrated life, he ran out of money. You can't, no matter how much money you have, you can't have two big planes, 10 security guards. It's going to cost you money. I mean, so again, I'm really sad to see that happen. But hopefully he'll get out of it.
Dana White and Floyd Mayweather have worked together before. Discussing Floyd's financial situation, White shows compassion and says he could potentially help. Dana White says, when somebody works as hard as he did and amasses the type of wealth that he had and then they lose it or it gets stolen or whatever the deal is, it's horrible. It happens a lot in professional sports. Who knows? Anything is possible. Maybe we could do something and figure it out for him. Meanwhile, Steven Espinoza responds to claims that Showtime owes Mayweather $340 million, suggesting that bad financial guidance could have influenced his current problems. He points to questionable advice and financial decisions from people around Floyd as possible contributing factors.
What was going through your mind? Did you immediately call Floyd or what?
I didn't, because it's, at that point, I you sort of assume like he knows what's going on, like this doesn't happen in his name without him knowing about it.
Yeah.
So no, like I didn't think that there was a whole lot of point like saying, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
all right, it speaks for itself. All right,
Right.
that's what we're doing now.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what we're doing. So
Right. So do you think that Floyd realized, okay, I'm missing money. I owe money. Where's my money at? And he just had to sue everyone involved?
um
Or someone is telling him, I think it was Showtime, or I think it was this person, your former manager, your former this.
I think they're two different situations. Like everyone sort of saw the two lawsuits and say, okay, they're the same thing. I think someone told him you should sue Showtime.
Espinoza adds that if he had been part of the lawsuit, he certainly would have attempted to assist Mayweather, since he worked closely with Floyd at Showtime for years. Their long professional connection gave Espinoza considerable knowledge of Mayweather's career and business activities, helping him understand the circumstances behind the dispute.
It's the end of May.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it's due mid-June.
Right.
You know, and then you send your money in, and then they don't report it back to us till July.
Right.
So all of a sudden, at the the earliest that we see it is a couple months later. But then there's also, there's sort of middlemen in between that this guy has to report to this company because, for example, if you've got Comcast or Charter or some of these, there's local systems that report to the main company, and then the main company reports to Showtime.
Gotcha.
So there's sort of delays along the line, and it's a crazy system because it wasn't unusual that 6 months, 12 months down the road, like all of a sudden we'd get a big check from DirecTV or satellite company just because money was delayed and they just...
Adding more controversy, on-site media reported on X that Manny Pacquiao's promotion chief is suing Floyd Mayweather's former manager for $8.30 million over alleged fraud and theft. The case brings additional attention to Mayweather's former business relationships and the financial conflicts involving people linked to his career. Wade Plemons also responds to Floyd's statements about his wealth by questioning how well Mayweather has managed his money outside boxing. Plemons says Floyd's reputation as an almost certain winner made people willing to risk huge sums betting on him. He highlights the irony that bettors may have trusted Floyd with their money more than Floyd may have trusted himself with his own wealth. Plemons believes Mayweather's biggest financial achievements have come from boxing, not business.
He's also been accused in lawsuits of failing to pay for millions of dollars worth of luxury items, including watches and high-end jewelry, allegations he has disputed. Well, not just allegations anymore. He's being charged with 2 felonies for not paying for, or at least writing a bad check for, a watch in Vegas as well. So on all fronts here, Floyd Mayweather is flat out lying, saying, well, my properties are paid for. Again, if he's talking about his houses, sure, your houses are still there, even though, again, he sold 2 houses in Beverly Hills and in Miami to pay 2 of his real estate partners. So why lie about it when we have the proof? It's there. Why? I don't understand. Floyd used to be able, and this, by the way, shout out to Spencer Cornelia because he hit this right on the head. He nailed this. He said that Floyd will do this where he will create a narrative, and because he is a massive superstar, his words are taken as truth. In reality, we now have the truth. The burden of truth is on Floyd.
Plemons says Mayweather has not shown the same success when it comes to operating businesses or building wealth outside boxing. He stresses that this is not intended as an insult because boxing is clearly where Floyd has achieved his greatest results. Clemens also points to Mayweather's reputation as a fighter bettors could depend on. Since Floyd was viewed as such a consistent winner for much of his career, bettors were willing to risk large amounts for smaller profits. His main point is the contrast between Mayweather's remarkable ability to earn money through boxing and the questions surrounding how that fortune may have been managed afterward.
There's more probability that they get that money back and some than Floyd pulling out equity in his home to take out a loan to try to pay somebody back, or using his home as collateral to take out a loan to then not pay the person back. That's the most true thing about Floyd Mayweather's entire career. He is the best boxer of this current day and age, and it's the one thing he's done better than anything ever in business. Anything. He has not run any successful business. He has not made any more money than when he is in that squared circle. Point blank, period. And that's not a bad thing. That's just what he's best at. But Floyd Money Mayweather, the only time that money comes into play.
However, Floyd Mayweather continues rejecting concerns about his finances, insisting that his financial obligations are still being handled. Recently, he said, "So I still got all my houses. I still got everything. My whole family, they bills still paid." In another interview, Floyd noted that none of his properties had been taken from him and said his family and employees were still receiving their payments. Mayweather points to his homes, family, and business responsibilities remaining secure as proof that everything is still under control.
So a lot of people are saying you're doing this just cause of the money. Is it just cause money, or just what you want to do?
Well, as you know, I mean, nobody has taken none of my properties away from me.
Right. So did you want one more question? I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the paper.
No,
You know,
no.
let me go back to that. To the paper.
Right.
You know, I was thinking about something, right?
Yep. You doing great.
And a lot of times, hold on, let me show you.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out.
Yep.
Now, when you really think about this, right? We got our people, meaning the black community.
Yep.
These people will pay. These people have been paying money for years to come see me fight.
Yep.
These people will put equity out of their house, bet their life savings, and they bet it on Floyd because I prove that I'm 100%.
His statement shows how confident he remains. His remarks also indicate that he rejects the belief that he is dealing with major financial difficulties.
Mayweather every time because they believe in me, right? And they rooting because they want to see me win. And then after they go home and they got everything they want, they praying on my downfall.
Facts.
They praying on my downfall. So yeah, we don't want to see Floyd with nothing.
Right.
And so, I mean, and in due time, you know, a lot of times they say, "Oh, it's this lawsuit, it's that lawsuit."
Mhm.
One thing about me, whoever I get involved with, as far as with business,
Yeah.
I get myself out of the situation.
Okay.
You know, one thing we're not going to do is go out there and go point fingers. Oh, this person got me in that. As a man, you know, if me and you doing business.
Yet the lawsuit presents a different situation. The federal tax lien gives the United States government a legal claim against Mayweather's property until his unpaid tax balance is settled. This is also not the first IRS problem Mayweather has encountered. He previously faced a reported $22.5 million lien related to his 2015 taxes, along with another $7.2 million lien connected to his 2010 taxes. The newest lien comes as continued reports raise questions about Mayweather's finances, despite estimated career earnings of roughly $1.15 billion during his Hall of Fame boxing career. According to the tweet, by late April 2026, the IRS had informed Floyd Mayweather Jr. that his U.S. passport could be revoked because of more than $7.25 million in unpaid federal taxes from 2018 and 2023. The IRS filed a tax lien against him in Las Vegas the previous month, giving the government authority to seize assets to recover the debt. Cam Newton also comments on Mayweather's financial habits, questioning how one of boxing's biggest stars could reportedly experience money problems after earning massive sums throughout his career. Newton mentions Floyd's lavish lifestyle, luxury labels, costly purchases, and reports of extremely high daily spending. He says Mayweather has been linked to designer fashion, expensive brands, numerous business ventures, and a lifestyle filled with cars, jewelry, travel, and other luxuries. Newton notes that reports of Floyd spending up to $500,000 in one day created serious concerns about whether that lifestyle could remain financially sustainable.
From Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather, it don't matter who he identified himself to be. My question comes as I look at his career, I don't want to talk about the earnings because that's not something that I want to point out. I don't even want to talk about the splurging because he gave off this lifestyle that was not realistic for a lot of people to obtain.
Yes.
My question is, why hasn't he ever aligned with a brand? Or let's flip it. Why hasn't a brand ever aligned with him? I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So when you think about boxing,
Okay.
names that come to fruition or come to mention is Oscar De La Hoya.
Yep.
Oscar De La Hoya is the face or the owner, creator, CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. Well, Mayweather Promotions, not a lot of people have aligned with that. You got.
However, Newton stresses that his remarks are not intended to insult Mayweather. He still considers Floyd one of the greatest boxers of his generation and says the situation should offer athletes an important lesson. Newton highlights the need for a practical financial strategy, particularly when someone earns extremely large amounts of money. He says making money quickly does not mean it should disappear just as fast. In Newton's view, proper budgeting matters even when an athlete is earning at the highest point of their career. He explains that people can enjoy their wealth while remaining financially responsible because real financial success should create lasting security instead of promoting uncontrolled spending.
It's speculative that he had $500,000 a day splurges.
Yeah.
Is that sustainable? He had multiple business ventures that failed. He had the lifestyle with multiple women and different things like, bro, I get it. But dang, and let this be a message to all athletes. And I'm not trying to rag on Floyd because I still have so much respect for Floyd. Every time I see Floyd, it's like, he one of the ones.
Yeah.
Because contrary to whatever it is, he's still a great fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, we got to do better with our money.
Yeah.
How? We have to put ourselves on a realistic longevity plan that even though you got the money fast, you can't keep spending it fast.
But who do you trust? How do you trust when, and I'm not saying his background, but if you're not used to money, don't have money in our community, who do you trust? How do you trust? How do you go about finding somebody to put you on a budget